Hey guys, DC Network here, coming at you with another video. At the Annecy Film Festival a few weeks back, Genndy Tartakovsky's next project coming out of Cartoon Network Studios was announced, and it's a new show called Safari Heist, which will be premiering on Adult Swim at some point in the future. They didn't give us any sort of release window attached to it, but this show is rather interesting for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's a bit of a departure from some of Genndy's recent works, at least stylistically speaking. What I mean by this is Genndy's worked on a wide variety of projects throughout his career. He started out with Dexter's Laboratory, then jumping to Samurai Jack, Star Wars Clone Wars, the 2D animated series, to Symbiotic Titan, then going over to Sony working on the Hotel Transylvania series before coming back to Cartoon Network Studios for Samurai Jack Season 5, Primal, and of course more recently Unicorn Warriors Eternal. Most of the shows that I just mentioned fall under the action genre. It's obviously a genre that Genndy is quite fond of, given that a lot of his series fall into that category, but this new show being Heist Safari is going to be a comedic robbery that will quote-unquote have the feel of a musical. That's at least how it's being described to us as of right now. We have a little bit of a description that comes attached to it. It says the robbers are three brother frogs, control freak James, neurotic Isaac, and little George. Estranged, they meet up at their father's funeral where they are informed that they will only inherit his fortune if they pull off a bank heist, stealing the contents of a bank's vault numbered 88. Trouble comes when all three cut side deals for help in the form of a Japanese Yakuza tiger, a Russian mafia hippo, and an Italian guerrilla mobster. The police are all wildebeest, and that's the description that we get from this series, and it sounds like it's going to be something that's rather interesting, and like I said before, a departure from some of the more recent series that Genndy has worked on. The only other thing we really know about the series is that apparently each episode is going to be one shot, meaning that it's going to be a continuing scene all throughout the 22-minute runtime, and also that the series is going to not air in chronological order, which seems rather interesting to me. I don't know exactly how that's all going to play out, but we'll have to wait and see once the episodes actually come out. And apparently it's all going to have an electric dance music score, and like I said before, this is quite the departure from some of the more recent projects that Genndy has worked on. Like if we look at stuff like Unicorn Warriors Eternal, Primal, Samurai Jack, Symbiotic Titan, Star Wars, the 2D Clone Wars, all of those shows have action elements to them. All of those shows are more gritty, and like I said, they're action series, but this show seems like it's going to be something completely different, given that it's being described to us as a comedic robbery musical that's basically following a bunch of animals. The police are wildebeest, there's different mobsters that are based on different animals, the robbers themselves are all frogs. It seems like it's going to be a bit of a wild trip, and like I said, it's something different that Genndy is doing here, and I think that's a good thing for a multitude of reasons. I've said before that Cartoon Network over the past decade plus really have lacked variety on their channel ever since Ben 10 Omniverse departed the channel in 2014, being the last action series on Cartoon Network at that point in time. Really from that point in 2014 all the way to like 2022, about every single series that premiered on Cartoon Network was a comedy. There were no action shows, there were no, drama shows like the current Total Drama Island. It was all just comedies, and that was pretty much it. And while this is a comedy, yes, this is going to be a more comedic show, I think it's good to be getting this in addition to the more serious action-oriented shows that we're getting on Adult Swim currently. Like we had Unicorn Warriors Eternal last year. We had My Adventures with Superman coming out. Season 1's out already. Season 2 is currently airing as of the recording of this video. We have shows like Batman Cape Crusader, which is being produced by Warner Brothers Animation, obviously premiering on Amazon Prime Video. It's good to see that in that mix-up of shows, we have something that's going to be probably a bit more lighthearted. I'm sure it's going to have some more serious tones to it. As we saw in the description, it's following the frogs after their father passes away. It's going to be something on Adult Swim. I'm sure it's not going to be, something that's meant for kids, but I think it's good to have a little variety added to Adult Swim. I think it's good that not every single series they're going to be producing is going to be an action-oriented show. Action is my favorite genre, but it should not be the only genre that we see coming out of Cartoon Network Studios and premiering on Adult Swim. As I said before, release date wise for this series, there is absolutely no indication of when this show is coming. It is going to be a 10 episode series, assuming there's only one season, but as for timeline wise, when we're looking at this show coming out, I would imagine it's probably not coming till the absolute earliest, late 25, early 26. Most likely we'll see this show at some point in 2026. As I've said with pretty much all of the announcements at the Annecy Film Festival, I don't think any of these shows are coming within the next 12 to 18 months. I think they're all on the earlier side of production, and we're probably going to have to wait a while till we hear about these series again. But one interesting thing that comes out of this announcement that I want to touch on in another video is what is the future of Unicorn Warriors Eternal if Genndy Tartakovsky is now working on Heist Safari alongside working on Primal and whatever else he's working on over at Cartoon Network Studio. I think that's an interesting topic that we'll discuss in a future video. But for now, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about Heist Safari, the new comedy that's coming from Genndy Tartakovsky. Are you excited for it, or are you a little bit disappointed to hear that this is his next project? If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to see more content like this from DC Network. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.